revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They took it to 10.
Ball, mains. All I ever do is ball, main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait, I can power up and level up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm sending yell nets. Every flow is unmatched, and I better get set in it. Finish them. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum all. In the Arizona, better kill them all. Rogue one, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a team with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, Gold Tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, Gold Tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now. Every woman is a now. What state brought you looking bleak now? I was home to sleep, designer sheets now. 30 different missions. When I speak, they listen. Couldn't find the social finish. Who the crew? It wasn't you. I know it's true. Cause you look like the opposition. Run it up, run it up. Greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda made my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, Gold Tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, Gold Tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want. Yeah, call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game hits.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC Wildcard matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and our home team. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
We've got this. First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Excuse me.
Set. McKinney. Mike 50, huh? I'm trying to collect. Win. Hey.
Now Newton on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that express. Gun.
Newton now to throw. And the throw left sideline here is
Man,
caught,
Mike
but
Williams,
they're
what
ruling incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
You always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Play action. It's Newton. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
Add that man to group me, Richard.
Ready? 180. Max 50. I got you.
Now Gordon on first down.
How you?
Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and
I added him to the
laterally
league, not the
and
group
open
me.
up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
And you played your game yet?
Mike 10. Express. Check back. Gun.
Why are you still in training camp?
Mike 10 right here, guys. Mike 10. All day.
To throw is Newton. Looking deep now for McCoy. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 44 yards. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on
You
this
let somebody
drive
run from
before
that
he
far
finally
wide.
turned around and handed it off on the last
And I
play.
can't run a
Now
dive
looking
play?
for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'd be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chargers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator?
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. First carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
How you going to do what?
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35.
Oh, that's a pick six.
That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception. A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Check. Check hot route. Hot. 20. Wide, get wide.
Here's Newton. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
And let me borrow that thing this weekend,
They
man.
opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick
I
up
just
a
want to go
turnover,
ride on a
set
lake.
you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
Oh, shit.
First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon.
Just let one of them little boppers ride on the front
So
seat
far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part.
with the
You know,
little
sometimes
tennis
the
skirt
best
on and no
performers
underwear,
do
you
their
know.
job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nah,
So
that's
they
not a
opted to
touchdown.
pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal.
Check, crunch. Check safety.
Here we go on 4th down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. A great play there. Taking it in. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team
You
on
see
the
what
field
that
now
screen
as
say,
they
huh,
will send
Richard?
this one away.
See how it say phone ready?
This is fielded a couple yards deep.
You see what kind of phone it say,
And a
huh?
pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
It don't say no iPhone garbage, it say Galaxy.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They kind of script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Completes it to Davis. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Man, send Robbie, man.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Uchenna Nwosu. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On 1st down, Jefferson. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Newton is for his running back, McCoy. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
I'm really not signing you after this game, after this season. You guys gonna get hurt in the playoffs?
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Newton to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 30 yards there. It's a great throw right there, and really showed a lot of confidence in his receiver.
He certainly did. Ball was in the air a long time, but he counted on the adjustment that we saw near the end of the play. As that ball was descending, Who was going to come down with it? He counted on his guy, and he gambled correctly.
From the red zone now, Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt. What persistence, and that persistence pays off. Tracks him down for a 19-yard loss. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Back to throw, Newton. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he bats it
And this
away,
nigga
and
dropped
he
the
falls
ball,
down
bro.
incomplete.
Wow.
Williams, the intended target. And now it's third down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Let's go, D.
Third and long, it's Newton. Looking deep now for McCoy. And that is incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Oh, they get to the football.
Get this
It's
stupid
blocked.
shit.
It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
I'll bet you as they
Whatever,
ran out there for that play, the head coach
Just gonna
either
let
had his
this man
headset
run
or
off the
pulled him
edge and
aside
block the
and told
kick,
special teams coordinator, whatever block you've got, pull it out of the bag right now. We need a spark.
When you could just feel it on their sideline, the air just kind of out of the balloon. Now maybe you're right, a spark, a little bit of hope.
That's when the special teams coordinator who works on this ad nauseum, I'm talking about morning, noon, and night, he tried to figure out, okay, where's my best opportunity? Which one do I have? And he pulled the right one and got his team going and hopefully back into the game.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Derwin James with a pick. There he goes right side. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now, start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Larson. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, keep
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This one complete to his running back, Jamal Williams. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach.
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. An excellent gain, 35 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
20. Tens the mic.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's complete to Williams. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Newton. Dancing to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
To the air again, Newton. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me out here.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. Badgley's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime in this AFC Wildcard matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC Wildcard game. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained. maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Slam. Let's go. Come on.
Again, it's Williams. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. But it's brought in by Washington. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
All day, defense, all day, all day. Minus 50, minus 50. You just watch it. 50's the minus.
2nd and 9 now. Over the middle, complete. It's Palmer. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Letting one go deep. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Credit the
Secondary,
secondary,
Jets is
credit
a
the
user.
defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Back to throw here. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range, so now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21.
Because the dude just took over if I ain't played the first 3 weeks.
Play of the drive.
So they kicked him
Not
out.
too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
From the 29, Newton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Newton now to throw. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
On first down, it's Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Second and 10. Newton again. He's going to fire one deep over the... It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one good for 37 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for first and 10.
We're going to X factor. He's not giving them an X
From the
factor.
red zone now. They'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They get to upgrade
Devin
somebody to
Bush.
superstar.
What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked.
Be quiet, Richard.
That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately,
The man
the
said he
O-line
get
failed
one
hold up
upgrade to
try to keep that
superstar.
momentum going.
He in the party?
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Newton. Got his man. It's Williams. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air.
He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams there to make the grab. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. But look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Back to throw now on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Williams. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 10. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Hey, here we go. 8. Check your hot read.
Out of the gun, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Uchenna Nwosu able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 46. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On second down, Jefferson, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. They run it again with Williams. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. We know that the rookie's going to go to a top target like that often. That time, though, maybe a little telegraphed.
And that's not unusual because you do tend to lock in on one of your better players. And when under duress, when in doubt, you're going to throw the ball in his direction because oftentimes you could be wrong.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a give right side. Jefferson got some real estate inside the 30. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
No.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
I don't know.
Coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget
No.
today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows, you may meet up with this team again.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On the toss, here's Williams. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. Another carry, same story. Fourth quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe, because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Now in desperation, and my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 40. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
That's what he said.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Well, one win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start, because they get to
he
move
got
on.
twins.
Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.